Hello, everybody, and thank you for listening to today's episode of Sadie and Friends. Be sure to go on, if you wouldn't mind, leave a review. You can do that on Apple.
Why are you being so needy? You realize how unattractive that is to me?
On Spotify, you can leave just stars. So if you want to leave a review, that would be amazing. I get so excited when I get a new review. And also be sure to check out the website, sadieandfriends.net, for your chance to win prizes. There's lots of blogs and so much more. But before we get started, I have to thank my friends over at Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air. They're in the community, folks. They're deep in the community.
That sounds weird.
I actually just saw them a couple of days ago at a community event for the school. They care. They care about where they live. They care about their neighbors. And they have an amazing,
So I'll say it twice.
amazing amount of great reviews from people that I talked to from their website. Go to polarbearpha.com. And while you're there, check out the $99 spring deal that they've got going on. You should definitely get your AC looked at. What's weird is this last weekend, it was so warm. It was like perfect weather.
Woohoo!
And then we're going into next weekend. What if I told you it's going to get cold again and it just might snow?
No!
Right? That means if you're like my home, it's going back and forth. The temperature's going up and down because I like to be comfortable when it comes to the temperature. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm going to make sure to have them come out and do a complete system checkup for just $99. Again, that is such a great deal. And make sure that everything is running well, because here's the deal. You may turn your AC on and you may think to yourself, okay, it's feeling good. The cold air's coming out. It's doing what it should do. What if I told you that it might be just using so much more energy because it's bogged down, because it's old? We all get old and tired and need a tune-up every now and again, and it's the same for your AC unit. So get it checked before that incredibly hot weather comes, and it comes to stay.
You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby. I'm on fire.
The hot weather where you can see like the heat lines over the concrete. You don't want any of that. You want to know you can go into your house and it's going to be a comfortable frozen tundra. So thank you so much to Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air for being a sponsor of the podcast. They are wonderful to work with, and you'll find that out when you work with them. Go check them out. That $99 sale they got going on for this, it cannot be beat. Go online today. PolarBearPHA.com. That's PolarBearPHA.com. Polar Bear Plumbing, Heating, and Air is a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends podcast.
I'm gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Let's talk about marriage.
They have like a 2-second rebound rate and you're back doing the next pain in the ass thing.
Parenting. Oh my gosh.
They have sucked the pretty right out of me. They treat me like it, and I do their laundry. Lucky me.
Sex.
I'm caught between two evils. I generally like to take the one I never tried.
Scary stuff like ghosts. I know it's totally out of left field, but just go with me on this.
Boo, you whore.
Love.
I give you what you need. That's all. I'm talking about taking care of each other the best you can. What's wrong with taking care of a woman? She takes care of you.
Friendships.
Lincoln, our necklace says best friends forever.
You sure you want it to say forever? I don't think you guys will be best friends forever, no offense, but sometimes you grow apart. And maybe she'll find a new best friend. They end up doing everything together.
I can tell you what I've done this weekend by playing a song. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, okay.
It's a wonderful song. Here, you won't know it, but here. Such a great song.
Did you go to a wedding?
Do you not recognize that or anything?
No. Is it a wedding?
No. Sometimes I wonder how we did a show for 15 years.
Oh, well, that's so funny. It's the Masters. That's what it is.
That is the audio,
Yeah.
the nap music from the Masters. I love the Masters so much. Some guys get all excited about the Super Bowl, others about March Madness, others about whatever. The Masters is kind of my thing.
I, at about 3:30, fell asleep on the couch with the Masters on. It really is. It's like the most beautiful, angelic. It's just so nice that everybody talks really quiet.
Now, I don't want.
I like that.
Do you know who won? Because don't say anything. Don't. And here's why. This is something I literally, if I have to miss a part of a Bronco game, whatever. Just tell me who won. I have it. It's paused. It's downstairs. It's ready for me to watch after we get done recording tonight's episode so I can finish up watching. All I know is Rory McIlroy was in the lead when I left. And if he wins today, it's the Grand Slam. That puts him right up there with only four other golfers.
Yeah, he won. I can't even believe it. I'm kidding. Look at your face. I don't know if he won. I passed out. The look that you just gave me was like you were going to slap me through the computer. I fell asleep.
He just made the turn, and I paused it because we had some chores to do outside, and then I had to get ready to record this show. So he's got 9 more holes to play, and I thought that is perfect for this evening's cocktail hour and snacks. I will watch the final 9 holes of the Masters, so don't tell me.
I don't know anything. Like I said, it was on, but I also don't follow golf. So the rules and the this and the that. I do know that he was doing well. And I do know that Ryan was like, everybody wants him to win.
And it's everybody wants a good match, and especially in the final pairing. It was he and Bryson DeChambeau. Here's what I do know is Bryson somehow fell apart. And so I got to figure out exactly how he fell apart. Because when we went outside to kind of do the chores, I said, well, wait a minute. We get everything on YouTube TV. So we can roll it back and it kind of records as you go. So we can roll it back and pause it. And so I paused and I know where I'm at. And all I know is I kind of hit stop. And it's like, where the hell did Bryson DeChambeau go? He was off the leaderboard. And so I know that there's something really bad that's going to happen. And it exists in those final 9 holes. And I hope that Rory does win, because to me, I was such a massive fan of Tiger Woods, and Tiger kind of at the end, the poor guy just fell apart. He did the women and the booze and everything else got to him, the painkillers. And I don't know where he's at. It was fun to watch him come back and win a Masters here a few years ago. It was fun to kind of watch that return. But Rory seems to be a consistently good guy, 35 years of age.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's how young. It's always weird to me when I see somebody who I believe is my age, maybe even a little older than me, and then you find out they're so much younger. What? I didn't know he was that young.
7 years your junior.
Oh, don't do the math on it.
Is 31. And in fact, if indeed Rory does win, he'll be the second oldest person to win the Masters. When Ben Hogan won it, he was 42. So he'll be the second oldest. I didn't realize, golf's a sport. Heck, I plan on playing golf into my 70s, maybe even early 80s if I take care of myself. Golf is not that strenuous, for crying out loud. But these guys, to really be good and studs, you're yawning.
Yeah, but you know what? They're also the senior tour. So at what age are you kicked into that category? Is it like 45 and then you're a senior?
Probably. I don't know. Sadie, we have the source of all knowledge right here.
We have AI.
We do. I'll ask ChatGPT at what age. Oh, shoot. I can tell you what I've done this. Hang on just a second. I hit the wrong button. So I can ask ChatGPT at what age can you play? Can you play on the Seniors Golf Tour? And ChatGPT says, searching the web, to compete on the PGA Tour Champions, formerly known as the Senior PGA Tour, you must be at least 50 years of age.
Okay.
If you ever watch one of thit's like 20 years ago, you watch some of the guys that I used to watch. Of course, you didn't, but golf is really the sport that I've kind of enjoyed watching the most on TV. As weird as that may sound, I'm still kind of a football guy, but I guess because I can't relate to playing football at the speed and with the strength that like the NFL players. I played high school football like most guys, but for crying out loud, I can't relate to playing at the speed and with the intensity that the NFL players play. But, it's fun to watch a golfer in it. He shanks one or he puts it into the woods or something like that. It's like, I did that just last Tuesday, so it's fun.
And you know what? Who is the guy that is a drinker and a smoker and he got a cigarette? Because I dig that guy.
John Daly is the best dude going. And he's not on the tour anymore. He doesn't. I don't even think he has his card, but he's still got a golf shot. Fat, drinking beer, playing barefoot, and he goes out there and he hits a ball like he's still playing on the tour. He crushes it. I mean, he's he could probably drive with Bryson DeChambeau and Rory McIlroy and these other guys. And I don't know, Daly's got to be into his 50s now. I love that guy.
It seems like he's almost the inspiration for the movie Happy Gilmore, or no? Yeah, Happy Gilmore. That's him.
There was something because he played on the tour one time and he was competitive. I think he's won a couple of majors, but
yeah.
I don't know whether his life spun out of control or whether he just stopped giving a shit. I think it's probably the latter. I think he just, I'm done with it,
Listen, I think he's always been this way because I heard him on an interview and it seems like he has always been a drinking, smoking, and he just has this random, he's like a savant at golf, but everything else, he's been married to different women and it's just, he's fascinating to listen to.
He doesn't overly fit that PGA mold. It's like Mercedes-Benz ain't going to sponsor him,
No. I have to wonder how many people he has truly angered because golf is a very, I'm going to say it's a stuffy sport. You get, and probably at the level of the Masters and those big tournaments, you probably get a lot of stuffy people and he's barefoot and he's got a cigarette, he's smoking. I mean, you're right. It's not the look of golf. I love it.
Shame in the fact that it shouldn't be a stuffy sport, but it is a little pricey. It's a little pricey to play. Like if I want to play, I belong to the Greeley Country Club, but I'm not a golf member. I'm just a social member. So if I want to play, it means I can get onto the course, but it's $160 a round. $160.
Jeez Louise, when's the last time you played?
Not in 5 years. I haven't played golf. How sad is this? I haven't played golf since I became a county commissioner.
Really?
Which is 6 years. Going on 6.5 now. I have. Well,
that's good because usually politicians win and that's when they up their golf game. And so the fact that you were, elected and then you haven't played since then, I think that means you're doing a damn fine job.
I'm too busy. I literally am too busy to get out. And I tell everybody who will listen or who cares, 7 years ago, I was, we were on top of the world doing the Scott and Sadie show. Yeah. I was mayor of the town of Johnstown and I played golf probably 5 days a week.
That was what I know. At least 5 days a week, you would check the golf openings and be like, "Oh, signing up for today at 2." And I would be like, "You are living the life."
I did live the life.
Then you needed to complicate shit and go a little bit further and a little bit further, and then now you don't get to golf anymore.
Those are the days, Sadie. So what'd you do this weekend?
Well, I had a busy sports weekend with Murphy. She plays basketball, volleyball, and soccer. And I had today was the craziest. She had a soccer game. Soccer, this is the first time ever where she's been on a team where these kids are good.
Yeah.
These kids, I mean, it's shockingly good. It's a club team and they just, I was not raised in an overly sports family. Ryan, on the other hand, this was like his life. He was part of this group where it was like you were at the ball field constantly. You knew everybody, you knew their kids, and there is something, and that's really wonderful. But when you have a child who, because she's young for the team she's on, she's a year young. And so she's a little bit more timid, and you get some of these parents who are, it's like they think their kids are competing in the Olympics. It is so intense. And today I was kind of like, I can't do this anymore. I can't watch this anymore because the parents are most of the parents, I will say, are great. They're very encouraging, but then there are some that are just dropping the F-bomb and the A bomb and the B bomb and the every bomb you can think of. And it's just what, and then I get nervous because I think, oh my gosh, if Murphy messes up, my God, they're going to rally against her. And it just makes me sad. This is the only sport that I've ever felt this way in with any of the kids.
You know, what's interesting about this with some of these kids that have some talent and their parents will kind of get that way. And there's so many of these like year-round club teams and travel teams. And it used to be, you know, when we were kids, you go out for football, then you might play basketball, you might wrestle, and then you might do track, you know. But no, these kids now, if they show a little talent in one of them, they're a one-team kid, and they play it year-round, and they get on these travel teams where they're traveling 200 days a year. And what's interesting is I know some of these kids that, you know, little Johnny over there, he's going to be a baseballer. They're teaching him how to throw, and he goes to all the camps and all the clubs and travels all the time. And little Johnny gets to be about a junior in high school and says, F it to everybody. And so all that leaning up, it's like they overdrove him. And I think that's sad because the sport that the kids pick up and they enjoy and they have a little natural ability, and then mom and dad and the industries get involved, and that's it, you know?
Well, and, you know, I think that kids have amazing talent and they have drive. And I think that everybody wants to be, you know, like Serena Williams' dad or Tiger Woods' dad and get out there. But what I see sometimes is parents who are like screaming at their kid as the kid runs by. And I'm just not that way. I'm there because that's what the team she plays on. And I hope she has fun, and I hope everybody has fun. And whether we win or lose, we'll survive another day. And I am not kidding you. There are some parents. There's one family in particular where, oh my God, they're just insane, and they're yelling and screaming, and they're making comments, and it's just, I don't know. I actually got up and I had to move my chair, which is such a Karen move. I felt it very Karen-y, but I thought I got to get away from this because it's upsetting. I don't know. I feel like I'm getting old because things upset me, and I'm like, I got to move away from these people. They're insane. So does Murphy still love it though? See, and that's the thing is I'll say, like, do you like playing soccer? Do you? And she's like, yeah, it's fun. But, you know, her sport is basketball. She goes out and she's so good at basketball. It's ridiculous. So I'm kind of like, you know, right now we're narrowing it down. Like, what is she going to enjoy the most? What is she going to be, you know, excel at the most? And because Ryan's big thing is sports are so good for kids. I mean, you feel like you're part of a community. It keeps kids on track. And I agree with that.
But that's because Ryan is athletic.
Oh,
see, I had a little native skill in football, but that's only because of my freakishly large size at the time. And I've literally noticed where when I played a lot, I got my handicap down around 10 or 12 in there. So I could play, you know, and it's not like I was going to make the tour or anything like that, but I could play and not embarrass myself and kind of pick up with any team at the club and be okay. But I've never been overly naturally athletic. And so when you say sports is good for kids, I would agree in the community standpoint, but what if you're one of them doof kids like me that's just, you got two left feet, you know, excel really, you know? Or like me. And I didn't even try to excel. I was just like, listen, it's not, my mindset was we are not a family of sports people. None of us really did a lot. I mean, I did cheerleading, but it wasn't like what it was when Sophie did cheerleading. We traveled all over the country. They're doing triple, double axel, triple flips in the air and lifting each other up and jumping. And that was just not what we did like little cheers and stuff. So I don't want to be insulting to cheerleaders because if you cheer now, it is insanity what you have to be able to do. It is the most injury-ridden sport. Oh, don't I know it? Yeah, Sophie broke her arm. I mean, and you go to, what's crazy is like every year Disney, of course, has this big cheerleading competition.
and people come from all over the country to compete in this. And you sit and watch, and it is like you're watching these girls just heartbroken if they don't do the routine well, or they make a mistake. Or there was one year we went and a girl got thrown up in the air and she fell, and she just keeps going and she's doing good. And then all of a sudden she just crumbled to the ground and passed out. That's some scary shit. I mean, it was like, is she okay? Paramedics came in. She couldn't feel anything. Oh, I'm thinking, my God, for cheerleading, thank God she ended up being okay. But it's just, I am not a balls to the wall kind of sports person, you know?
You know, I look at myself in life and I am reasonably competitive. I don't like to lose. And you show me you show me somebody who likes to lose, and I'll show you a loser. No, don't be a loser. If you like to lose, no. I mean, but I can deal with, my life will go on if I don't achieve the outcome that I wanted to in area X, whatever it may be. But some people, they're done. That's it.
Yeah. And I will say there are some parents where they yell at their kids. And I think if you're yelling at them like this in front of everybody, what's it like in the car ride home? Yeah. And these are second grade, third grade girls. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, damn, that makes me incredibly, incredibly sad. I've also seen we were playing I wasn't, but the team was playing, and we were at this park where multiple games are going on. And I saw a dad where they had to call the cops on him. He's screaming and throwing stuff, and the refs fighting with him. And again, second and third grade girls. I mean, that's so ridiculous. And I guess I just don't understand the logic there.
Was it cold in Timnath this morning? Just curious. Was it chilly?
No.
Okay. Here's why. I actually went to Old Town Fort Collins.
What?
I know. Hell, it didn't freeze over. I mean, usually I parked and I walked and I did the things and the mass and the throngs and the throngs and the masses. And I went to an old school place. I went to Sonny's.
Love Sonny's.
Sonny's is fun.
The best.
It's gotten pretty pricey. I mean, it's always been pricey, but it was especially pricey last night. It could have been the multiple cocktails and the 2 appetizers and everything else that we got, but it was especially pricey last night.
Well, funny story about that restaurant is we used to have our Christmas party there. This was years ago, before we got taxed on our Christmas parties. It's like, did you have seconds? Okay, I'm going to write that down for taxes. It became kind of like that. But at one time, it was there, and they have these bacon wrapped scallops. And if I would have known, because like 3 scallops, do you remember how much it was? It was like $18.
I never I looked for the scallops on the menu. They weren't a part of their appetizer menu last night. They weren't there.
Oh, that's because you got to ask special. But it's like 3 for $20 for these little scallops. And I remember at our Christmas party, they were free. Had I known then, I would have eaten my weight in. If I would have known it was on a trade situation with the radio station, I would have been like, keep them coming. It would have been embarrassing, but I would not have cared.
It is the end of an era, Sadie. I don't know whether you saw this. The news broke at the end of last week. Publishers Clearinghouse has filed for bankruptcy.
I never believed in that. I never did. I think that was a scam, how they bring balloons to people and be like, you won pub. I never heard of anybody. I have heard of people around me in life who have won the lottery. I believe the lottery is real.
I know a couple of people that have won the lotto.
Yeah, I mean, I have heard of that. I have literally never heard of anybody, even their cousins, sisters, brothers, hairstylists, who have won Publishers Clearinghouse. I think it's a fraud. And if you've ever tried to sign up, which at one time I did, you have to sign up for 64 other things before you can get. No.
Company's been around for 72 years, initially founded as an alternative to door-to-door magazine subscription sales by offering bulk mail direct marketing, but became known for their prizes, sweepstakes, which became a sensation in the 70s, 80s, 90s. Contrary to popular belief, Publishers Clearinghouse never worked with Ed McMahon. Never worked with Ed McMahon.
Wait. Then why do I remember him in the commercials?
That was the competitor, American Family Publishers. Yeah, right. I always thought it was. I did too. I thought it was Publishers Clearinghouse. No, it was American Family Publishers. Ed worked for the competitor. Both companies did some good, but were also hit with a lot of lawsuits over deceptive promotions and advertising.
I knew it. I knew it even back when the getting was good and people were like, and the old lady to answer the rickety ass door and they'd be balloons and oh my God. And it looked magical, but I thought to myself, I don't think that's real.
Publishers Clearinghouse's bankruptcy announcement said that they were finalizing a shift away from its legacy business and are hoping to become a pure digital advertising company with free-to-play entertainment online. They did say that the Prize Patrol team will continue to deliver awards throughout the bankruptcy
to nobody.
No, they won't.
It'll all be green screen now. The people who win, heavy quotations on that. I'm sorry. I've literally never. If somebody can write in and just tell us if you do know, if anybody knows anyone who has won the Publishers Clearinghouse, I want to meet that person. Because to me, that was always so scammy.
Were there balloons? Were there a big check? I don't think any of that. A local business. There's even a local business, Valpak, that puts a $100 check inside their envelope. And whenever I get the Valpak, I open it up and I go through it because that $100 check might be mine.
I make it rain. I'm like, click, 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 click. No check this month.
Pick it all up, put it in the trash.
No, I flick it into the trash. Flick, 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 flick. Damn it. No, but I don't even know if they do the $100 anymore because that used to be their big tag where it was like every month, $100. Don't throw yours out. And that was really smart marketing because I would normally just throw it out. But then the thought of what if I throw a $100 check away? I would be so upset. So every month I made sure. I mean, that was brilliant of them. Brilliant.
When you think of advertising, though, I mean, there are a lot of people, maybe even some that used to advertise with us. In fact, I think there were that advertised in the Valpak mailer.
Yeah.
Just, was there any result? Was there anything or was it just thrown away?
You know what? Scott and I used to do this show called The Whole Damn Show. The Whole Damn Show. And the only return I saw from Valpak was somebody circled the word damn and said, like, how dare you? And then mailed it to us at the radio station. And we hung it on the wall. Yeah, because we were saying damn and it came into their home and they don't say that word. And so they promptly wrote on the Valpak picture of us and said, how dare you? And circled the word damn and then mailed it back. And then I hung it on the wall for like 10 years. It hung on the wall.
So somebody actually looked at it and responded to the ad that we traded out in Valpak.
I remember getting like the piece of mail on the desk where I sat and I was like, oh, fan mail. This never happens. And then I opened it and I'm like, how do I piss someone off through the mail? Usually they would call or maybe. No, it was this woman put a stamp on it. She was so mad.
All right. Have you heard about the assistant principal in Florida has been arrested because she made a 13-year-old student rub her feet?
Ew.
Sadie, there's audio. Here we go.
She had a 13-year-old child that was at her school rub her feet. She didn't think he was massaging him the right way, so she massaged his arms. And then made the statement like, this will help teach you foreplay for when you have a girlfriend. We calmed parents down and said, look, she's going to be held accountable for this outrageous conduct.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You don't do that to a 13-year-old kid.
You think? Who didn't teach him that? But then I think about, I had growing up some super perv teachers that now, it would have been a little weird. But back then, it wasn't that big of a deal. I had a female teacher, an older woman, and she would come and rub our backs. This was in like the 3rd grade. She'd come rub our backs. And then sometimes she'd put her hand into our shirt And now that I'm saying it out loud, I do think we could have won some sort of lawsuit, but it was the 80s and 90s where you were like, okay, that's weird. But she would like rub our back under our shirt, and she was very touchy feely. But again, if I would have at that time
guys,
gone home to my parents and been like, damn, this teacher's rubbing all on me. I don't know. My mom would have been like, yeah, that's weird. Stay away from that teacher. Now it's like, sound the alarm, sound the alarm. There are so many things that
before
I check out for the day. I just want to say
there is a story at scottandsadie.com, which is our website where everything kind of starts. By the way,
for so long,
I put a lot of work into
wrap my tiny brain around it.
I'm proud of that website.
And decades.
There's
family and
fresh content up there all the time. 10, 12, and of course, see, look at us getting emails now. 10, 12 stories a day for crying out loud.
You don't have that great of a reputation, and you're not in business that long if you're not taking care of your people and your community.
And today on there, you can get to see a
so if you just need something quick fix, like a squeaky spring, or maybe it's just an old tiny garage door.
She said that Betty White was always eating chocolate cake for breakfast.
And get a brand new garage door.
Her talking about one of your favorites, Betty White.
She loved
call my friend Patrice
drinking vodka on the ice
family.
and
They got your back.
eating chocolate cake for breakfast, like a real true legend.
Service and sales, a proud sponsor of the Sadie and Friends
Lived a
podcast.
very long time.
Yes.
99 years of age, eating chocolate cake, drinking vodka on the rocks.
That's why she lived so long. I'm truly sure that our grandparents lived to be very old because they ate lard and they smoked Pall Malls and they drank. They didn't drink because we're all getting together and let's have a $13 Cosmopolitan. They drank whiskey because the horse wouldn't pull the hoe. And I mean, shit like that. And now we're just so like, we're so fancy dog, you know?
When you go to scottandsadie.com, sign up to receive our daily email. In that comes something called the Scott and Sadie Sound Off Poll. And you're really starting to get some nice response to this. Thank you for responding to the Scott and Sadie Sound Off Poll. The one that went out last Friday had to do with National Grilled Cheese Day. Last Friday, National Grilled Cheese Days. And so I just said, what's your favorite sandwich? The options: grilled cheese, BLT, French dip, club sandwich, and Italian sub is what Randy...
I have a BLT sandwich story that's so stupid, but it happened yesterday. I ordered a BLT. It was $8, which I'm like, geez Louise. Okay. Ordered it, got it. It was $9 because they charged me 50 cents for lettuce and 50 cents for tomato. Have you ever heard of that before?
I'm going to tell a story on a guy that I'm doing this without his permission, but I think it's pretty awesome. He's kind of a well-known tough guy. His name is Sheriff Steve Reams. He is our world famous sheriff in Weld County, well known for defending your Second Amendment right. And he's a by God badass. He and I went to lunch here a week ago and we went to a sandwich place in downtown Greeley. And he says, yeah, I want a BLT, but can you hold the tomato? And I'm waiting. So you want a B and an L? Is that what you want? He says, well, yeah, I hate tomatoes. He says they're like a squishy embryonic vegetable, and I hate tomatoes. So he got a BLT, but he held
he probably saved 50 or 50 cents off of that. I couldn't believe it. I thought, what? So I don't know. I just found that to be so weird when I looked at the receipt. Isn't with a BLT, you're paying for the BLT. It's in the name.
All right.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.